Sports Podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. Man. I'm with my guy, Nate.
Hey, you know Nate the Great. You know how we do it, man. You know
that time will tell, but Luka is definitely up there as far as guards. Well, I ain't gonna say trash.
Well, I'm saying as in like the whole system. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You know I'm your boy Nate. You know Mr. Man. He always gonna come on laughing. You know, say hey, you know we here to have a good time. Hey, what you? This guy. You gotta watch the highlights.
But I got to see you in the game, man. Because highlight tapes are just clips of what you're doing. I'm not a North
Carolina fan because obvious reasons they suck, right? But
North Carolina suck.
You know that's just
hold up, son.
That's just
hold up.
Yo.
What it do?
Hey, y'all know how we coming today. This is the Man Sports Podcast, and you know I'm the one and only Nate, and I got Mr.
It's Mr. Man, everybody. Y'all know who it is. Y'all love me. Y'all love to hate this joke.
Hey, man, we ain't even gonna study all that, man. But hey, how was your week this week, man?
You already know how this week was, man. Daggone inventory. I dread inventory. I'm just glad we got it over with, man.
Hey, well, to be honest, I could tell how your week was by what just happened with you.
What was that?
Something you couldn't find?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for a brief moment, I lost my driver's license, and I was panicking because I'm a black man in America, and I didn't want to get stopped.
Here we go. Hey, this guy right here, it's something else. Hey, but you know what, though? I'm glad you found your license because that's a whole nother process you don't even want to go through. But
yes, sir.
Man, hey, I've been catching. How can I put this? The last couple of weeks, of course, I've been keeping up with the NBA, and what I said a couple of episodes ago about the Milwaukee Bucks. I just knew it. I just knew it was gonna work, man. I just knew it. I don't know what to say about it, man. Like I get it, you want to talk about the Celtics and stuff like that, but the Celtics ain't really been playing nobody like that, man. Come on. So
what's the Bucks record? Yeah, well, I think they're 3-2. I think they're 3-2 right now.
Well, this is the first part of the season, right?
Yeah.
So records and stuff is gonna fluctuate as long as you don't be like the Memphis Grizzlies and start off 0-6. You fine.
Well, we already knew they was gonna be bad because of that one. But
you see how much said
no. But I'm talking about Ja Morant. Ja Morant makes a difference on that team. They need him bad.
He make a bit difference. But I told you, time after time. I literally told you, like, hey, they ain't gonna do nothing in the playoffs, and with his style of play and how he act, they wasn't gonna get far. They were gonna be a good team, but they're not going to be a championship contender.
Oh, I ain't never said they're going to be a championship contender.
Oh, you didn't?
Never said that. I said they're going to be good.
We're going to have to find that clip.
No, I never said they'd be a championship contender. I said they got potential. I said they got potential to be a great team.
You got to find that clip, buddy. Our producer, just check that. Just bookmark.
When you edit this, put that in there.
Hey, bookmark that. But yes, the Lakers are playing. I don't want to say great, but I don't want to say bad. I want to say, for lack of better words, almost like desperate.
Well,
like they know they can't start off how they started last year. So what do you think about the wellness and how they're playing right now? And do you think that is a formula for success for later part of this season?
Well, we briefly discussed this a couple of episodes ago. How the talent-wise is spread out amongst all NBA teams, and there's a lot more competitive games. I mean, the first night of the tournament, there's a lot of great games. I mean, I think Golden State barely won by 2 points. That was a close game. I think New York and if I'm not mistaken, I forgot who they played. Oh, Milwaukee. That was a close game. It was back and forth. So there's a lot of great games. I think the tournament is going to be a good idea once they get into it further down the line. But you talking about specifically the Lakers? I just think with the talent that they have, especially with AD and LeBron James, and I know they limiting LeBron James' time because of his age or whatnot.
You might want to check that.
Well, they're
They only limited one game, and
Well,
after one game they lost.
What I'm saying, they're trying to limit his game, his time, but they need him to play because who we think or should be leading or taking most of the reign is not doing it as much as we think he should be right now. We talking about Anthony Davis.
Well, I will say this: Anthony Davis has been playing a lot of minutes, and the first part of the season he has been playing well. But we did not fault him for playing well. We just want him to be more consistent.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, if they're gonna try to play LeBron at limited minutes, Anthony Davis has to play well. And if LeBron James is playing more than he wants to play, or as far as a lot of time, then Anthony Davis is not doing enough for him to get off the court to rest. Because he like you say, the first time they limited his minutes, they lost the game.
Well, one thing I will say is, Anthony Davis is just gonna have to do him. He's gonna have to score points, right?
Absolutely.
But also, Austin Reeves gonna have to play better. D'Angelo Russell gonna have to play better. You know, I don't think, like, when they played, I want to say the last game that they played, LeBron went on the bench, and I think they went on a 10-2 run or something like that with him on the bench, and they took a 2-point lead, right? So, with that being said, you know, the bench is going to have to consistently do that. They can't just do that for one game. Because everybody knows throughout LeBron's career, when he goes to the bench, his team goes down. And that's been historically on every single team he's been on. So that's something I would say they're going to have to figure out a way to kind of get around that and substitute for that.
Well, I kind of agree with that. The only thing I've when it comes to players like Austin Reeves, great player, can definitely do what he does well. My problem is I think a lot of things that he does is not necessarily within the system. I think he's trying to be that instant guy that one off the bench, comes off the bench, and gives you a lot of points. And sometimes I think he tries a little bit too hard to make a play or make something fancy instead of just playing within the system. And I think sometimes that gets. This is just what I observed, and I could be totally wrong, but that's just my opinion. I think he wants to do the nice crossover or a nice little pass or something fancy to get in the game instead of just play your role, run the play, and get your shot off that way. And then if you're able to make a play like that, then do it. But just play within the system. Let the game come to you. And I think that outside of just the play of the game, I think there's a lot of pressure being a Los Angeles Laker anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the nostalgia, the history, and the legend that franchise holds, I think there's a lot of pressure, and I think the entertainment factor of it is there, and people want to play up to the entertainment factor in the crowd and stuff. But I think players like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Cam Reddish, all those guys just need to play within the system, be smart about the decisions you make on the court, and let the game come to you instead of just trying to make that one play to get the highlight.
Well, since you brought up system, I'm going to segue into since we're talking about, Lakers in L.A., I'm going to segue into what do you think about James Harden getting traded to the L.A. Clippers? And I'm going to bring it up. I about to segue. When you said system, I'm going to segue into that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I am the system.
Yeah.
Well, in this, James Harden, we all know he's a great talent, right? He can score, can pass, because he led the league in assists last year. So he has the capability of leading the team, scoring for a team, or whatever the team needs. My question is, does he really want to do it? I don't know all the background story. Oh, excuse me, my phone going on. But I don't know about the background story
very
about
very, very unprofessional. Y'all see what I have to deal with? You know what I mean? Like I have to keep him up with P's and Q's. Like
my bad.
He over here got I'm a Barbie girl ringtone. You know what I mean?
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, I'm talking about sports here. You know what I mean?
Hey, once again, producers, Y'all don't encourage that because by slander. Y'all gonna have to cut that out too.
Hey,
Y'all gonna have to cut that out.
Hey, I'm just saying, but before we digress, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what you were saying, Mr. Man?
Yeah, but we know. Anyway, we know what James Harden can contribute to a team. We don't know necessarily. I don't know the specifics about his relationship with the GM with the 76ers and James Harden. That's between them two. I can care less about that. However, this is my thing. Speaking of that, this is my thing for James Harden. Let's just say that whatever you said is true, but wouldn't you want to play as hard as you can so you can get a contract regardless if you get what you want with Philadelphia or not? Don't let what you didn't get from one person stop you from balling out so you can still show your worth, because now it kind of looks like you're a cancer because every time you go somewhere there's an issue.
Now that's now I was gonna get to that before you said that, but you went right into it. I outside of him being with OKC, would you call him a cancer? Because every team he's been on, if he hasn't gotten his way, that team has went down. So now you're saying it's self over team. You know what I mean?
That's what it seems like. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And now it's like, even at the press conference, he's saying, they ask him about, hey, what you think about the system and how to run it. And he says, I am the system.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, all right. We know you have the ability to score this and do this, and only thing you don't do is play defense, right?
Right.
So I just can't see, like, everybody talked about a blockbuster trade and stuff like that.
Right.
I just can't see them winning. Like, you got Kawhi, you got Paul George, you got James Harden,
Russ.
and you got Russ and PJ Tucker. I commend Russell Westbrook. As much as I was hard on him when he was with the Lakers.
He was killing him last year.
Yeah,
He was killing him.
but he's doing a great job this year, and that's the Russell Westbrook that we know of, right?
Right.
But my thing is this. I think the Clippers actually downgrade more than upgrade. And people might be, you crazy. Well, when he went to 76ers, what they did.
Yeah.
You know, the only other team that he was with that was like, you know, 'cause even when he was the Nets, they didn't do anything.
Right.
The only other team that he was with outside of OKC where he kind of balled out was with the Rockets.
Yeah.
And guess who was running that show?
The same GM.
No.
Oh, you talking about the coach?
No, I'm talking about as in a team.
Oh,
Chris Paul.
Oh, Chris Paul. Yeah.
Chris Paul was running the offense and doing all that. So now you go into a situation where you got Kawhi, ball dominant. You got Russell Westbrook, ball dominant.
Yeah.
You got Paul George, ball dominant. You know what I mean? So like, I can't see it. And James Harden got to have the ball all the time.
Well, do you think Tyronn Lue gonna have a job on his hand to try to make sure he control all those egos?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's gonna be the hardest job in the world because Kawhi got an ego. Paul George, he doesn't really have too much of an ego. Right. Russ definitely got an ego, and James Harden got an ego.
Definitely.
So now it's like, I don't know. I don't even know how that's going. I don't even know. That is a great question for him. If I was in a press conference, I would ask him, how are you going to
handle all that? How
are you going to structure the roster? How are you going to scheme minutes? How are you going to scheme who starts? How are you going to scheme, like, you know what I mean? Because all of them don't fit well together.
Right.
And we all know that.
Right.
So, like, you're going to have Russ coming off the bench. Okay, all right. Kawhi is going to be sometimey. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how they mesh together, man. Because that's, like you say, all four of those guys are ball dominant. They got to, you know, I mean, I think maybe Paul George can probably move a little bit without it, and maybe Russ a little bit. But I don't know.
But Russ can't shoot.
No, Russ can't.
So that already goes back to Paul George.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Tyronn Lue got a job on his hands. It's just going to.
And I think the bulk of it is the egos. You know what I mean? Like, because they are phenomenal basketball players,
right?
But their mentality gets in the way of them being successful.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I just think James Harden, like, even if he's not the cancer, the appearance of always something going on when you're, like you said, you're not getting your way, something going on appears to be like you causing problems, and it may not be intentional, but every time something don't go your way, there's an issue.
You whining.
You're
Crying
whining
about
or
it.
whatever the case may be. And I'm like this, regardless of the fact, you know you can ball, you know you're a great talent. Go ahead and ball. Whenever your contract is up, you did your job. Same thing with Damian Lillard. He didn't really fuss too much in the media. He did what he's supposed to do, got his money. He got traded, but he got his money regardless of what was going on, right?
And you know, I know we kind of go back and forth. Milwaukee right now, we're seeing what he was brought there for with Dame.
Yeah.
All right, so Dame was brought there to close games.
That was
Giannis-
a great game he closed last night, by the way.
All the games he's played, he's had some effect on the closing procedure, right?
Right.
So Giannis, quarter 1 through 3, you handle everything, get gritty, stuff like that. Dame, fourth quarter, you close out.
Yeah.
Even Dame said, I know why they brought me here.
Well-
So, and I think that's going to pay dividends when they get into, you know, the playoffs. Because with Boston, I'm going to let you talk.
No, go ahead.
With Boston, sometimes there is no closer.
Well, I beg to differ for several reasons, but this is the main reason. Milwaukee, if I got this right last year, I think they was 4th in defense last year. Just through defense. I know it's still early in the season, but through these first 5 games, they're last. The defense is last. Now, will the offense be good enough to overcome that lack of defense to be dead last? And I don't think so in the playoffs. They might coast through the regular season, but when the playoffs, as we know, as the rounds go on, you playing better teams, we're playing better defense. And I just don't think that their offense is going to be enough to overcome anybody's defense because their defense is just too low right now.
I think it's skewed. Because great defensive teams not always gonna be number one. You know what I mean? They're gonna know when to turn it on. And I think right now, you know, what we 6 games, something like that.
Yeah,
7
6 games, yeah.
7 games into the season. Yeah, but they'll tighten that up. And then when the playoffs come, they're gonna tighten that up.
I'm telling you, Dame is good, but he's
a liability on defense.
He is very much a liability on defense.
But to be honest, I think it's gonna show its worth when they get to that point. You know what I mean? Because they still got a lot of defensive parts to their team.
I mean, yeah, because I think Brook Lopez had 5 or 6 blocks last night. You still got Clinton Portis.
I think you'll be fine. They just need to do enough, and they had to sacrifice some defense for the betterment of offense. You know what I mean? I don't think
so, man.
I think Boston
is gonna be better than Milwaukee down the line.
No, they're not.
Yes.
I think Boston going to have a problem with not knowing who to defer to, who's going to be the main guy, and then when Jason Tatum don't show up, is Brown going to play? I think it's going to be a lot of question marks. With Milwaukee, I don't think it's going to be any question marks there.
No, I don't think so. I think
everybody know their part, they know their duty, so they know their identity.
To be last in the NBA, I know. Like I say, I know
it's only 7 games.
But it's still
they can be first tomorrow.
I don't.
No. I'm just saying it's an 82-game season.
I know, but their lack of defense is just not there, man. It's not there because even with Dame being Dame and winning those games, and they are still allowing teams to be in the game. New York is not as great as I hope they will be this first few games. And New York was in the game. They was down. They had New York down. And
New
they
York
came back.
New York ain't no slouch.
No,
especially during the regular
they're
season.
not. They're not. But I'm just saying, as far as beginning of the season, they're not looking like the New York of last year as of right now. And it may change, and I hope it does, because that's kind of what I had high on the Eastern Conference, along with Philadelphia and Boston. But
all your picks kind of go to,
Boston is going to be at the top.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but anyway, so we'll kind of see how the NBA season goes.
Prove me wrong.
But that's been the biggest thing that I kind of. I don't be sitting here. I'm gonna wear a Milwaukee jersey, for real,
dude.
Literally, and I want you to wear a Boston jersey, and I'm gonna write "loser" on the back of it.
If I get it, if I'll tell you what. If Milwaukee goes further than Boston, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this and stitch this and comment on this. If Milwaukee goes further than Boston. I will buy this man a Milwaukee Bucks jersey.
Buy me a Dame.
With his name. With his name. No, you want Dame on your name on there.
Oh no, nah, do Dame.
All right, I will buy him a Dame. I'll buy him a Dame jersey for whenever if they make it past Boston. If they make it further than Boston, I want y'all to remember this. What episode is this? Like 20, 18, 19, whatever it is. Don't give me a line.
That's a producer answer. Don't give me a line. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say it could be 18.
18? Okay, episode 18. We're going to remember this. If the Milwaukee Bucks go further than the Boston Celtics, I'm buying Nate a Dame jersey, which I know I got to worry about. I get to save my money.
I'm going to show bookmark it.
I'll get to save my money, so I appreciate you helping me save money.
Yeah. I mean, my last name on Milwaukee. I wouldn't even go to Milwaukee. I'm just throwing it out there. But hey, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot coming up. We're gonna have a lot of segments and stuff coming up. And
let's have some fun, y'all.
And we got what coming up? Our 25th show.
Oh yeah,
it's starting to come on. We're doing something special on the 25th show. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
We're going live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Be showing up going live. So
taking questions.
Make sure you like, share, follow us on all social medias, and you know what it is. Yo. We out.
Man to man. Yup.
Follow the Man and Man Sports Podcast on our social media platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Like, share, and subscribe.